What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Old Cajuns Nerd Out. My name is Bo, and this is my buddy.
Hey guys, what's going on? Today, super excited. We're going to be talking about it's going to be a part one of probably two, but we're going to be talking all about Predator. We're going to be talking about the first two movies, basically the early '90s before like it really kind of started to kind of change and stuff like that, in my opinion. Um,
But
so
80s and 90s.
yes, early, yeah, 'cause it took a while. Um, so when did you first time you ever seen the original Predator film, and which orders did you see him in?
I saw the original first, and I was young. I mean, young enough to where I was like, "Oh, he said a bad word whenever he
Right.
said "You ugly motherfucker." I mean, but but yeah, I mean, I was very young, and the Predator kind of scared me at first, but I did like the movie.
Yeah, it was. It's. I mean, It's hard to kind of put it in the genre. When you start watching it, it seems like an action movie, and then it turns into like a freaking thriller, and then it turns into a slasher film. You
Right?
know.
And like
So
a
yeah, I
horror
can see that.
slasher, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, even got the killer reveal and the face of the killer reveal. There's the last girl basically, like the last guy, the chase
Right.
and stuff like that.
I mean,
It's
and it I did put it like this. It starts off like any typical 80s action movie.
right. So okay, we'll get to that. So the one part, just starting with talking about how it starts, that UFO that passes at the beginning. They show you, I mean, that UFO, the spaceship that passes, and it drops. It
Right.
drops a probe. Like if they didn't have that shit, you would have no idea. Like you see that and you're like, okay, that's something. It's like a
Yeah.
spaceship. But if you didn't see that at all, if you like started someone like a few minutes later, or you walked into movies because you were getting your food and you missed that part,
Yeah. And
you
all
would
you call
really
was
have
the
no.
helicopter with Arnold coming in and yeah.
Exactly. You would have no fucking idea. And I did hear somewhere that was added later, but I've always remember seeing it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've
But
always remembered seeing it too.
but it came out in 1987. It was directed by, and it's considered one of the greatest 80s action movies of all time. It's up
Oh
there
yeah.
with Die Hard and
Rambo
Terminator
and
2. Yeah, well, no, yeah, Rambo, the first Terminator,
yeah.
uh, Aliens, of course. Now John McTiernan, he did Nomads, Predator, a lot of stuff you've probably seen. Nomads,
Die
I've never
Hard.
seen. I actually want to watch, but
Yeah.
Nomads, he did so good at that. That's kind of why they picked him to do Predator.
I've
Um,
never seen Nomads actually.
I think it's Pierce Bronson in there. Predator, Die Hard, The Hunt for Red October is what he and Hunt for Red October was what he was doing when Predator 2 was going into production. That's why he couldn't direct the second one because he was
Right.
tied in Hunt for Red October. He wanted
And I
to.
like the Hunt for Red October.
It's a good film. Medicine Man, Last Action Hero,
That's
Die
action
Hard
here.
with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
So you skipped the second one. The Thomas Crown Affair, 13th Warrior, which I like.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Antonio Banderas. It's based off the book Eaters of the Dead, but
Okay.
yeah, which is way different. Rollerball, and then he did Basic with not Basic Instinct, but Basic with Samuel and stuff like that. I
John
think
Travolta and Samuel Jackson. Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah, that was a
He
good one.
really didn't do too much after that though.
No.
Like he's still producing, he's still doing stuff, but like he didn't like make any big movies really after those. It
Okay.
was written by two brothers, uh, John and John and Jim Thomas. Originally, the idea of their film was called The Hunter, and it was about a
Yeah, I
group of
remember
hunters.
reading it.
Yeah, that came to hunt man, and then they kind of switched it to it was on another planet, and then they scrapped that idea and they put it back one hunter, one alien hunter on Earth. Some of those ideas would actually seem like they just came into later on,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, like I said, considered one of the greatest sci-fi movies of the '80s. I think this movie freaking holds up phenomenally.
Oh yeah, it does.
Uh,
I mean, like you said, it wasn't one of these big special effects driven things. I mean, even back then, I mean, they had like the practical effects and stuff like that. And hold on,
but
sorry, I had to sneeze. Thank you. I mean, the only real special effects you had was the predator being invisible.
yeah, and that was like most basic effect they could come up with.
Yeah,
That was
and
a
that was
red
pretty good.
suit. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, red suit on the opposite color of the forest, and they basically reshot everything, and it would take that shot out and stuff
yeah.
like that. And dude, the other thing that kicks ass that still holds up the soundtrack on. Same guy
I,
did the soundtrack for the first three, I say, and man, and I use
yeah,
it
I
in
agree with that.
Predators. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
those soundtracks kick ass, and they're expensive, dude. If you want the physical copy of those CDs, especially like the collector's ones, like the double disc ones and extended ones, dude, they're pricey, man.
Oh, I bet.
Um, because you got the marches in it, like I got tribal stuff in it. It's really awesome.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, before talked about the movie, talk about the cast a little bit. The main ones, of course, the man himself, Arnold, Major Alan
Arnold.
Dutch Schaefer. What's your favorite Arnold movie?
You're gonna laugh at me, but my favorite one, even though it's one of his worst ones, they say it's one of his worst ones, is because it was besides
Inglourious.
Kindergarten Cop, besides Kindergarten Cop, because that was the first one I really seen. I didn't see Terminator and Terminator 2 till I was a little older. But Last Action Hero.
Oh, we already talked about that. Last Action Hero. I haven't watched it in a long time. Um, to really say good things or bad things about it. I just remember being like, "What the hell is this shit?" It was really weird when
Yeah,
it came out.
it's very meta,
Yeah.
and I love like I said, it's because that was one of the movies that me and my mom worked at a video store that we constantly watched. I
Hmm.
mean, and my favorite part is whenever he's like, he asks him, he's like, "You think you're funny?" He goes, "Of course, I'm the famous comedian Arnold Braunschweiger or something like
That
that."
was fun. I have to give it another watch. I think this is probably my favorite movie by him with him in it.
Yeah,
Um,
look at that back then. That was
oh,
one of
back
my
then.
favorite, but looking at it now, this and T2 would probably be.
T2, yeah.
Yeah,
T2 is just, I mean, so amazing. This one I like because like I mean T2's to an extent because it got T1000, but like he's not really he's like a normal man for the most part, you
yeah,
know. He's usually like so tough and strong, and everybody's small to compare to him and stuff like that. And he's not the
exactly.
biggest dude in this movie, you know.
No, he's
Like
not.
like uh Carl Weathers is bigger than him. Jesse Ventura
Oh
was
yeah,
bigger than him. I think even Sonny Liston might have been bigger than him. He's a
right.
pretty big dude. But and of course the Predator's fucking bigger than all of them. But yeah, like, and he shows fear, and like he. But that's why I think it's this, and I really like the Running Man, and they came out really close
Oh yeah,
together.
Running Man. That's a good one. I mean, Total Recall is a good one too.
Total Recall up, yeah, it also was
Here.
my second one. Um, Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, everybody knows him from that. Action
Oh
Jackson, yeah.
yeah,
Happy Gilmore,
yeah.
you know,
That's
Chubbs,
a good one.
and then of course most people probably recognize him. Well, wouldn't recognize him, but would know him in Mando.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's actually just did another commercial as Chubbs.
Oh, did it really? Cool.
Yeah, it was an ad on Facebook. I noticed it, so that's funny. And I mean, then you got Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. Yep, he was. So yeah, thing about him too. He was actually ex Navy SEAL, and
Yeah,
so they actually did training and stuff like some basic SEAL training for the movie and stuff. And he was just like basically the same kind of shit he was saying in the helicopter. He was like a bunch of slack job. Uh,
which I mean, when you're an ex Navy SEAL, I mean, shit, you go through the training where they just kind of give you the basic stuff. You're like, why
yeah.
the hell am I doing this?
And if you see any of the behind the scenes stuff, like he's such an ego maniac and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
he
all
still
of them
is.
were like, oh yeah, but all of them were like going crazy to try to out pump the other one and stuff like that to try to be buffer.
Yeah,
Like in the scenes and stuff like that, because they all want to like there's gonna be a lot of like muscles and stuff shown in this film, so they all want to be at their top shape. So they would like wake up earlier and earlier. So like it started off at like 4 in the morning. Next thing you know, like those fuckers were up at like 2, like working out, just trying to like
just to try
sneaking
to
off
get
to try to
pumped.
like work out. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the funny one is I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'll see it when we go through the notes. He's basically like one of the last ones to die. He's the one, I can make it, man. I can make it. Um
Oh yeah,
he has a name. I can't think of it.
the one that
Poncho.
the train. Yeah, Poncho. Yeah.
Poncho. Dude, he had got pretty ripped and cut too. Like, but he lay down like took a nap on the ground in the jungle and stuff like that, and got destroyed by fire ants. Like his arms are like broken out and nasty and stuff. So that's what he
Oh.
put on his sleeves. So all of his guns were for nothing.
Oh, well, it's the same thing with. Didn't most of them get like food poisoning?
Oh, dude, they got terrible food poisoning, like sickness, diarrhea. They all had diarrhea and stuff.
Except Arnold, right? Because he was
The director,
yeah,
John
the
McTiernan,
director.
like, and somebody else brought their own food and was like
Yeah.
real
I think
kosher
it
and
was
stuff.
Arnold that brought his own food too. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure he did. He brought all his own damn weights and stuff. So, and then got married while he was making the movie. So,
brought his own cigars.
yeah. Well, uh, Bill Duke. He
Yep,
was
yep,
in
yep.
Commando. He was in a lot of stuff that I didn't see. And I think
Yeah, I
he's
didn't
a
see
great
Commando
actor.
2 years later.
Yeah, Ventura was in there too. So, uh,
And
Kevin
he
Peter
was in
Hall.
Running Man.
Yep,
What was that?
Kevin Peter Hall. Wait, was Ventura
Oh,
in Commando? No, I may be mistaken. That's another guy.
it might be Running Man you're thinking of.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he was, yeah.
Who's the guy? Who's the bad guy in Commando? The one-
I can't remember. It's been so long since I watched
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So Kevin
Kevin
Peter
Peter
Hall.
Hall, yeah.
Yeah, he is the Predator. You also
Yeah.
see him unmasked. You saw him
Yeah,
unmasked.
one of the helicopter pilots.
The helicopter pilot, right? But
Yeah,
also well known for being the Predator in Predator 2, and of course Harry from Harry and the
yeah,
Hendersons.
Harry.
His other big movie is Monster in the Closet. Have you seen this?
No.
It looks freaky as hell. You have to look up the cover to it. It's some 80s horror movie, and it's just a closet with a freaking demonic hand, like its hand coming out.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. Um, but yeah, like I also watched a little interview with Kevin Peter Hall. He was talking about the finale, the final part of the movie.
Right.
Just how hard it was. It took 3 weeks to film that, from basically like the water to like,
Right.
and part of it was because he couldn't see anything once he had the Predator mask on. Like,
Oh, I mean, that's
so
not surprising.
yeah, so everything he did was choreographed, like where he would step and stuff to come out the water. And he was
Right.
like a trained dancer, so he was really agile. Like you can see when he was jumping on the logs, he was kind of like he had a lot of momentum and like graceful movements in the suit.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I mean, he was tall, too. I mean,
oh yeah, big dude, 7'2", I think is his height.
yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, they choreographed that last part where they were fighting and stuff like that, and he slapped the shit out of Arnold multiple times. Like when they're doing the chops and slaps and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arnold's like, you gotta slap with a big claw. But the terrain, they also said the whole filming of the movie, they were never on level terrain ever. Like when they're
Oh,
filming the
no. I
movie.
mean, you're in
It's
the
been
jungle.
jungle.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be level terrain.
Yeah, it was always like unbalanced, always stuff like that. Always tripping over something or falling. Um,
Sound about right.
yeah. And then the water at the end when they jumped in the water, that was freezing because everywhere off camera was full of heat lamps and stuff like that because all the
Right.
cameras and stuff. Um, but the water was freezing. It was nasty and it was full of leeches. That's
Oh,
pretty
God.
crazy. Yeah.
And that can't be good. I mean, the suit probably had like a whole bunch of like rubber and stuff soaking up that water too,
Oh
keeping
yeah.
it cold.
They said it was really heavy. Like he didn't want to
But
come back and do Predator. Well, I mean, we'll talk about Predator 2, but it was so bad. Like he almost didn't want to come back to do a sequel, just from
damn.
the heat and wearing the suit and stuff like that. But yeah. So let's get into the story. Talk about it a little bit. Why it's so awesome. Why it holds up. Um, we talked about the beginning and stuff like that. Like that ship passes by, and I always wondered if it dropped off. Just I guess it drops off like a probe, like just like a little one man probe.
Yeah,
Like
to
what it
see what
like when it flies over, like it's just dropping. If that's like a bunch of predators,
yeah,
and they just drop off one predator, or
yeah,
like
like I guess to see if he could do the hunt himself or something like that, or
yeah, I don't know. But she says, they come like everyone's when in the hot times.
yeah,
She makes comment.
it's weird. I mean, because you got that lore, and then you got the alien xenomorph lore, and then Alien versus Predator changes everything, and then
Yeah. Well, the lore they were doing at first with the predator was like they come every 10 years.
yeah,
And that was one of the reasons they set the story for Predator 2, like in
97.
1997, even though it wasn't filmed in 1997.
Yeah, it's
They went
filmed in
ahead to
90.
try
Yeah,
to make it like, oh, it's every 10 years the Predator comes where it's really hot.
yeah,
So
right.
now they'd be like, always be in South Louisiana. Coming from Mardi Gras.
Oh,
Um,
that'd be interesting.
right. But yeah, so we see the Predator show up, and then like you're not given any like you don't see what happens to these other people. Like there's no setup for like why this helicopter's coming. It's just got the military theme going on. But
Right.
all the guys show up in the helicopter, and man, and like they like all look freaking ripped. But I like how they all
Right.
have their own styles. You know,
Yeah,
like
but it's a typical
uh,
action movie buff. Yeah.
yeah. But they all have like their own. I mean, their styles. Like Bill Duke's character. What's his character's name? Mac. Like he was in a
Mac, yeah.
full suit. He was in a full suit. And then like
Right.
Ventura's character, he was like in an old MTV shirt and jeans. And
Yeah.
Arnold was just like he was about to go golfing. Stuff like that. He had the hat on.
They probably literally just picked him up at the golf course and then
Probably so. Now, one of the things that was really crazy that I saw in the trivia is that when he lights a cigar, like it was because of like safety regulations and everything stuff. He wasn't like legally allowed to light the cigar,
yeah.
and so it was like post CGI, like computer effects and stuff. to show
Yeah,
the
I
cigarette.
read that. I read that he couldn't. It was. I mean, it's against the law to smoke in a government issued vehicle. So it's.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, such an awesome opening, like an intro for him though.
Oh yeah.
Like you get the silhouette of this big man, and like he lights up, and he just fucking throws his bag out, like it's in there. But so yeah, we get it like pretty much the remainder of the cast besides the Predator. Well, that's going to be going in the jungle. Like right after that, we get to meet Dylan, and you get probably the most famous scene in the whole movie, pretty much.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's freaking arms. That's
His
been
polar bear
parodied and
arms. It's
parodied
it's
so many
just
times.
it's just weird that they're like, oh man, you get soft in your own and stuff like that. They just like arm wrestling in the air. Like what the fuck?
Pushing too many pencils. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they aired arm wrestling and stuff. Like you never knew when to quit, did you? But yeah, I like how they,
That's what I'm talking about. Like the typical '80s action movies, shit like that.
oh yeah, and I mean, but typical '80s action and typical Arnold movies like it has that, but like it doesn't have like we get one really one liner from Arnold in the movie. Um, not much. Not what you normally see.
No,
You don't really get
no.
nonstop. Commando, he's just murdering everybody, just
Yeah.
nonstop like catchphrases and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's no like "Hasta la vista, baby" or "I'll be back" and stuff like that.
Right. Nothing. Just yeah, you can stick around. But yeah, the
Stick
mission
around,
briefing, like
and you get to the chopper.
yeah, yeah, I need that shit's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you find out there's a team that went missing and stuff like that, and they want them to go in there. And they say we're a rescue
Right.
team. That's how, and you get that look from Dylan looks at his commander, the general, and stuff like that. Like like the obvious, like they're telling the audience but not telling him. Like
Right.
when they say that, like oh yeah, that's
Like
exactly what you're gonna be doing.
and it's weird. Like I like how Arnold's kind of questioning, like, why
Oh
are
yeah,
we
he
going
questions
there? Yeah.
everything. He questions everything they do because yeah, like his he loves his team. He feels responsible for his team. Like in the team, the chemistry of the team really works, and like they feel like a real team. You know, like they all have
Yeah.
like kind of their own roles and stuff like that. You know, you got your heavy
Yeah.
gunner. You got your,
It's the teamwork dynamic definitely is there. I love it. I mean, you don't. Sometimes you just don't feel that in, especially some of these newer movies.
no, you don't feel it in either. You definitely don't feel it in Predators, and you don't feel it in the
No.
Predator. But they
Oh no,
they
no.
both try to
The Predator
recreate.
is just like they just threw them all together. It's like,
Yeah, they both try to like recreate like these squads of interesting like odd
no,
characters, and it doesn't work.
no.
Um, but yeah, the helicopter scene is one of the things I always remember too, because it was always like I didn't understand why I was in the red light when I was younger and stuff like that, but I always remember the red light and the music and stuff.
Right.
But you get a lot of the little quirks of all the characters right there.
Oh yeah, like
Freaking
Mac with his razor blade.
always
Just
shaving with the dry razors. Yeah.
dude,
Uh,
I just thinking about that, I'm like, oh man, I would break out with that. Like, oh, I
um,
would start itching.
yeah.
Oh,
And then of course you have Hawkins always trying to make Billy laugh with his jokes. So,
yeah. That's one of the things that I put in there. So it could have did a little without all of the Shane Black jokes.
and
I
that's
mean,
like and he did a rewrite on the scripts somewhat, you
yeah,
know. And like I'm pretty sure all that stuff was his dialogue.
yeah. Like
And it felt like his dialogue.
one of them was pretty good, and then it's just like, oh come on, man, we didn't need all of that shit.
Right. Um and then yeah, the dip is so gross, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, the jungle, like man, they when they land in the jungle looks so awesome. Like it's his own character. I mean, it looks fantastic. And it's shot in I think Mexico, most of it. You know where it's
right.
shot. But yeah, like that just looked awesome. Like, I mean, it's just multi-level. Like when you see him kind of like making their way to the helicopter, like they're on like multi-levels and like they're going through everything and stuff like that. I was just trying
Oh
to
yeah,
like, there's no like flat ground ever like we were
no,
saying earlier. But yeah, they do find the helicopter that crashed and stuff like that. And it's the first time we kind of you see Dutch again questioning, saying that oh man, like an RPG for really? You know these are gorillas, like you know people in the
yeah.
woods, like they got
There ain't
some
no way it
advanced
was an
tech.
RPG. Yeah,
Right.
no.
Heat seeker. So he says.
Yeah,
But yeah, Pancho climbs up there and check out the see what's going on. He find out they're dead, shot in the head. Helicopter was
right.
stripped. So at this point, they still think it's like you
The
still think it's a
gorilla.
horror movie, right?
Yeah,
And as an audience, for the most part, you probably do.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, because you can't tell that by then. Yeah,
yeah.
what's going on?
Until like the next scene. Now the next scene is where Billy's tracking, in which all the tracking stuff with Billy was really cool. They really
Oh
set him
yeah,
up as like this really cool. Like he's
yeah.
like paying attention, like knows the boots and stuff. Like these are army boots, and they went this way and this many people. Um, but yeah, he's like tracking through the woods, and like I always wonder what the hell he's drinking. He just cuts that vine. Like, what the hell is
Yeah,
that? Just water, I guess.
yeah, it's just what. But the interesting thing is, if it wasn't for like once they start showing the predator and stuff like that, you would just think, man, did they accidentally cut the spaceship at the beginning into the wrong movie or something?
Well, about I mean, and at this part, you see like you see the bodies. You find out it's Jim
Right.
Hopper and stuff like that. We actually get our first thermal vision, like of them being watched
Right.
right at the scene, and it kind of like you get a couple shots of that building up to the guerrilla camp. Now,
Right.
if you watch it with subtitles, around this part, you get your first predator sound and the subtitles. So you're
Oh,
like,
shit.
yeah,
Like, what
so
the
I
hell's
was like,
that?
okay. Yeah, exactly. Um, and also like, dude, the part that made I thought was just badass is when they're making their way to the guerrilla camp and Dylan's like tripping and making all kinds of noise.
Oh yeah,
Fucking Mac's like, come here. He's like ghost in this motherfucker. I'll make you
yeah,
bleed real slow. I forgot exactly what he says. I know he's he's a ghost you motherfucker.
yeah. He's.
Um,
I like Mac though.
oh yeah, dude, he had he probably got the most like character, like a lot of character stuff. Because I mean, you got some really cool moments with him, but you got to see him and Blaine, which is
Yeah,
mature. I mean, it's their relationship, and then him die, and you saw how he handles that, and then
yeah.
you
Oh
saw
yeah.
his
With the
like,
Sergeant, he's just shooting all over and freaking out.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna yeah. Uh, and just like I'm gonna call my name. Yeah, he goes nuts, but the Gorilla Camp, man, like that is like a crazy action scene. Like that, like in just any other movie would have been like the highlight, you know?
right.
They're going in there, like I mean, they're just blowing dudes left and right. There's a lot of flipping and stuff, like explosions and flipping.
Yeah,
But you got some really cool stuff. You get the stick around scene. And you get like one of my favorite lines where he's like, "Dude, you bleed," on Ventura.
yeah. I don't have time to bleed.
Yeah,
But it. I think also like the camp scene, they could have did a little, but the way that they showed off Arnold's strength with picking up the truck.
yeah.
It's like you could have did that without having to show off his strength. You already see the dude's big. Like, come on.
But you see how he can move, man. When he does that army
Oh yeah.
crawl, man, he's pretty limber, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
then yeah, you get to see old Painless. When I thought I was a kid, I thought it was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the minigun dude. Oh yeah. Um, and like I was saying, we're saying the jokes, but they do the thing where they tell Billy a joke and he starts laughing, and you
Yeah.
see that something's watching him, and the predator's recording, starting to record what they say. Like he's trying to learn their like not learn it, but like copy, like he's copying it. And like he
Yeah.
copies like over here, over here, over here, and then like he copies Billy's laugh, which is one of the most iconic.
Creepy. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, his when he does it, it's fucking nuts. But Billy also is the first one to kind of notice that something's going on. Like he's like looking
Yeah.
up at the trees, he senses something is awry, and that kind of builds up. Um, but yeah, at this point, like they've landed in the jungle, they're looking for their people. They got to the guerrilla camp, and then you kind of this is when you find out Dylan's basically sold them out, and he went
Yeah.
there to get the papers. He takes Anna as a prisoner. Um, and like Dutch is like, let's get the shit out of it. Get out of here. And I like how
Right.
it's hot. Like he strips down. Like you actually see like like why they're like losing their gear. Like they start off fully equipped, strapped. I mean they're all carrying stuff, man, mines,
Yeah.
bombs, and then by the end they have nothing. But like they use most of it in the scene coming up, like their
Oh yeah.
ammo. But it's pretty cool. Like you actually see like he started like fully loaded, and then like basically at the end it's just prime as it
Nothing.
gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're gonna make it to the rescue spot, and then as they're going there, get our first death. So Hawkins,
Yeah.
Loudmouth Hawkins, he he's chasing after the girl, and he catches her, and he basically gets slashed, speared, like
Something like that. I wish they would actually show the whole thing. Yet. Just.
yeah, like you see like it looks like he came at him with the claw, just like cut him like
Yeah.
down the finger. But we also get the first kind of sight of the predator too, because I mean you see now the original suit with Van Damme, the
Yeah.
red ant looking thing. That's pretty much the only shot in the film of it still exists, and you don't even see the suit, but you see like when it's camoed.
The outline.
That was
Yeah.
yeah, that was the old one. Because like talking about that, like Van Damme was on. They were shooting before Arnold got there already,
Right.
and they shot like a couple weeks with Van Damme with this ant suit and stuff like that, and so they kept what they could.
Pantsuit, I like how you call it.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. It looks like a giant ant, the alpha, but they filmed a good bit with it already, and I think that actually helps the film because I think if they wouldn't have done because the suit wasn't even the actual Predator wasn't even
Right.
done yet, so his being revealed so late in the film could be a part of that. It could be wrong, but if so, that increases the film because
Oh
I mean
yeah.
you see him way faster than everything else, and I mean it's the first time too, so. But yeah, first time we see him is really cool. He's standing there and like he does the eyes that light up for
Yeah.
no reason, which he never does ever again. Really, he does it twice in
Right.
the movie, but you know, like what's the purpose of that? Just to like look badass.
Yeah. I mean, which I like that the way they did that though.
Oh, it looks awesome. And yeah, and as soon as he sees it, he flips, dude. And like, which I would probably do if I saw a freaking silhouette light up his eyes. Like, oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But he unloads, he clips the predator, um, in the leg,
Right.
and then he basically unloads, and they come up and dude, they all unload, man. And like,
Dude, they destroyed a forest with that.
they shot everything they had, like everything. They were shooting grenade
Oh yeah.
launchers. Like, I mean, he holds that minigun down to it stops, like just spinning,
Yeah.
dude. That's so iconic,
Still
man.
spinning all years.
Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, the Predator. We actually see the Predator. It's the first time we actually kind of see like it in the flesh. Now
Right.
it's up in the tree, and like he pulls out the med kit off his back, and he's like fixing his leg, and like you get that badass shot where he like roars, like it cuts up,
Oh
and you
yeah.
get the full shot of him, dude. Like they hear it, like it's just like oh shit. Uh, it's really cool. I think in the Predator blood, it's so iconic, but like Aliens is the best blood.
Oh
Like it's
yeah.
so weird that
The
these
acid
two,
blood, but yeah.
yeah, these two races. One has like sticky neon glowing blood, and the other one has deadly nasty green
Acid.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blood.
You know how they made the blood, right?
It was glow stick and KY,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
So we need to make some predator blood for Halloween.
just
Just
pour
start
it on
throwing
people.
it at kids.
Bring it to the theater. Just
Yeah.
um, and a scene that I like now more as an adult, I guess, watching it and stuff. Um, it's where they're all talking like at the camp at night. That night after that, it's when Max went. He's going. They're setting traps, and
Right.
Max out there setting traps, and like they're all talking, and like they're trying to get the girl to answer what she saw again. She's repeating the same thing, and Pancho's talking to Billy, and he's like, "Billy, man, you know what's going on?" He's like, "No, no, I don't." And he's like, "I'm scared, man," and it's just such an awesome line. And he's
Yeah.
like, um, yeah, I forgot
Well,
how he
I
said
mean,
it. He says we're
it's
all going to
weird.
die.
Oh yeah.
He said,
But
yeah.
it's weird how I mean they all like, oh, I didn't see I hit him. Well, we don't see any blood, but yet Anna's the only one that notices the blood.
Well, I mean, because it doesn't look like blood. You never saw it.
Yeah.
What the hell is this weird plant that
But
I just
she
cut?
notices exactly what it is. Like she knows because she saw it like she saw it get hit.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. Anyway, he's like, she talks about the blood. That's when you get the if it bleeds, we can kill it. It's also
Yeah.
one of the coolest lines in there.
Oh yeah.
And then you get another freaking montage. Like you get two montages in this movie, man, of trap making. But this time, Dylan decides to help, and like he joins the Muscle Boys, and
Right.
they're like making all kinds of crazy shit. But they wound up making a net trap, which I don't even
Yeah.
understand how it worked. Because like Arnold walks through it, tiptoes
Right.
through it. But that part where they catch in the trap is really badass too. Because you still want to see what it is.
Oh yeah.
And it goes up, and then like, dude, he just starts freaking blasting the shit out of everything. And that's when
Yeah.
Pancho takes one to the face.
Yeah.
He gets that log comes down and hits Pancho and stuff like that. But that's when we also get the first reveal. Like, isn't he like on the side of the tree? I think he's on the side of the tree, and like he uncloaks
Yeah.
for a second so they can see him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember like we had a VHS or whatever on there, and we had Predator on there, and we used to try to pause it and see him at that spot and stuff like that. That I think was probably the most paused thing we had besides like Basic Instinct and Roger Rabbit.
That's the best false part. No.
Yeah, you know the Roger Rabbit one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That one came out years. That was Laserdisc. So I was like, oh shit. Um, but yeah, Pancho gets fucked up, and he's like, I can make it. I can make it. And I mean, what's the alternative? You know,
Right.
like take me alive. But at least, unlike the other Predator movie we're talking about, like they try to take him along. They're like, let's strap bombs on his ass and leave him press a trap.
Right.
Um, but yeah, Mac. So Mac saw it. They go after it with Dylan. Dylan goes to help him. They leave to go to Chopper. And it's basically Max descending into madness. He's fucking
Yeah.
running through it. He's like stripping all shit off. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna have some fun. Uh,
Which I do like that.
yeah. But then like Dylan catches up with him. And what is the fucking Predator doing? Like he's on a log. He looks he's doing like the freaking downward dog poses or whatever.
Right.
Like I have no idea what he was doing.
I,
Like he
I
looked
I
like he was
really
like
don't know what he's doing. It's just weird.
yeah. And then like they're creeping up on him, and then like you get one of the craziest deaths in the movie. Probably might be the craziest one. When he
Yeah.
sees the triangles, and it just goes up to his head. And dude, like that shot of his head blowing up on the camera is so nasty. Now
Oh yeah,
you see
dude.
it later
But
on, it doesn't look anything like it would have should have.
no, it should like unless
It
he
should be
blew
in
like
Jaws.
yeah, it should have been. But that's got to be. I mean, even for that, that's got to be like. I mean, you get the hole in Blaine's chest and stuff like
Yeah, I
that, but
forgot
that's
about
still got
that.
to be
Yeah,
like the
that was
goriest
gory as
death.
hell too.
Yeah.
And it was so, dude. So like he saw a skunk or something like that, a
Yeah.
raccoon, some animal. But then like it shoots. It's like it shot him twice, or it shot the
Right.
raccoon because there's like blood comes over his shoulder, and he doesn't react like he's hurt. You know what I'm
Right.
talking about? So I was
Yeah.
like, did he kill the raccoon first?
He
And then
probably
kill
killed the
him?
raccoon for.
I mean, he's interested. He picked up the scorpion and was like, "What the shit is this?"
Right.
Um, but yeah, Matt gets destroyed, and then Dylan goes to like starts shooting at the Predator.
Yeah.
The Predator's standing on that log, just like taunting them, dude. He's like standing
Oh
on that
yeah.
thing and he's just like profiled, like, what you gonna do now?
Like
And
I know y'all are trying to sneak up on me.
yeah, but he's like standing there, and then like he pulls up the Uzi, and before he
Oh
can
yeah.
even get the shot off, dude, like he fucking blows his arm off,
There
and
goes
like
his arm. Yeah.
he starts shooting on the ground. That shit is crazy, man. That was like nuts. And then he comes running, and that's when he spears the shit out of him, dude.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the claw comes out, yeah, and he picks him up. Oh, dude, that part is nuts.
That is a
All
good one. That's a better death than Apollo Creed. No.
throw in the towel.
No towel was gonna save him.
I want someone to make a montage of him dying and Rocky driving in his car, crying. No easy way out.
That's funny.
All right, so let's talk about Billy's death.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, which for a long time was unknown. Everybody's like, "How did Billy die?" Because he was an iconic character. They want to see his death.
Right.
And they said there was a long time it was a rumor there was a deleted scene, and people
Right.
swore they saw it. People swore they saw it. The
They
actor
always
Sonny,
swear.
yeah, the actor Sonny, which I forgot to mention about him. He was a big fighter. Like he loved to get in fights and shit like that. They actually had like
Yeah.
a bodyguard for him on set because so he wouldn't fight with the
I
other
actually
guy.
have that in here.
Yeah, I
It was
forgot
to
about that.
protect. They had security for him to protect him from the other people from him trying to
Yeah,
fight.
it was just like, what the shit, man? Like you're not the biggest actor on this movie. Like you're not.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are, man? You think you're what's his name? Idris Elba? Hey.
Right.
But yeah, so you don't see Billy die. And everybody wants to see it now in the novel. There's a death for it, and it's really crazy. The novels, a bunch of the deaths are different. It was written before the movie came out.
Right.
I think it was based on an early screenplay. But yeah, like he freaking like the Predator cuts his throat, and then like cuts his stomach zigzag, and it like basically like throws him over the thing. It's way brutal. But
That'd have been
and then
interesting to see though.
yeah, and then also in the book, Dutch fights the Predator on the ship at the end, so it was
Oh
much
wow.
different. Yeah,
So
but
they took the end. They took what Dutch did and put it on part 2.
pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, depending on how it's going to be. Now, I want to ask you a question because I learned this from the novel thing. Why does he
Alright.
cut himself?
Why does he what?
Why does Billy do what he does? He cuts himself. Well, first he throws his dog tags.
Right.
So he throws his dog tags to basically say, "I'm not in the military anymore. I'm a man. You know, I'm my own man." Because
Yeah.
because Dutch was his commanding officer. He
Yeah.
was telling him, "Come on," and he took off his dog tags. Like, "Fuck that. I'm not under you." You know.
I mean, he already
Um,
knew he was gonna die, but
oh yeah, he said he was going to die,
yeah. I
but he
mean,
wanted
look,
to stand his ground.
I can think the cutting himself. I mean, would try to make him appear that he's wounded, but I'm not sure. It could be an Indian thing.
That's very close. It's very close.
Yeah.
So a lot of people thought I actually thought he had cut himself, so the Predator would see him or something like that. You know,
Right.
Um, but in the books of that, he cuts himself because they don't know how the predator sees. They don't know how the predator works. Anything about the predator yet. Just that this thing is hunting them down. He thinks they come on the smell of blood, like an
Okay, so
animal.
that's why he cuts himself. Okay,
He cuts himself to draw blood, to draw them
that's
to him.
actually pretty smart. I mean,
Yeah. I was like, that's really cool. I wish they would have had that in there. I don't know. I mean, there was no way to explain it. It was a silent moment and just see him staring intensely.
right.
But knowing
I
it's
mean,
really cool.
there's nobody else around for him to be able to explain why he's doing it.
Right. And then you got the crazy scream
Oh yeah.
as they're leaving. Then, dude, the predator like makes some moves, boy, because he gets from there to there. Because as soon as
Oh
Billy
yeah.
screams, he's like on the tree. And dude, Pancho don't have a chance. Pancho just gets
Oh no.
side of his head shot. She goes for the gun, and like Dutch has already kind of figured out that he doesn't attack armed people. Like we're unarmed, not a challenge. Wants to
Yeah.
sport. So he kicks that gun. Pretty awesome move. Kicks the gun, shoots at the predator, and then from there it's just a big chase, like one long
Oh yeah.
fucking chase. Uh, that's what I said. He goes through like what, two waterfalls. I mean, he goes through all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
One of those scenes where I think where he's coming up is where he's supposedly Van Damme, like as a stunt double, because Van Damme
Right.
did a couple stunts for him, but there's no way to confirm it. It kind of looks like Van Damme, but could be Arnold.
Did he jump up
Uh,
and do it? Did he jump up and do a split?
he goes
That's how you
the
tell,
split.
right? No.
That was it.
Or the little kickboxer boxer dancing.
That would. Uh,
That's how you know it's him.
but he falls in the water and like he crawls to the beach, like or like the beach, the shore.
The
And,
mud and stuff like that.
yeah, and dude, all of a sudden just a big splash behind him,
Yeah.
and dude, the predator comes out like you see the dreads first, and when he comes out of the water, dude, like we had already kind of seen him, but this is like the first like full on
Full
shot of
body,
him.
yeah. And how big
And
he is, like
he,
real how big he yeah.
yeah, he's big, and like Arnold's scared, like Dutch is scared. He's like all in the, hiding up in the roots and shit. But we learn a lot about the predator in this scene. There's like a scene like this in the second movie where like it just gives you a lot in a short period of time. So
Yeah.
like you right here, you know that. Well, so his cloaking is messed up.
Yeah.
Is on the Fritz, so he turns it off. So we see his cloaking technology is on his wrist, like it's
Yeah.
something he controls. And then we see the plasma cannon on his shoulder and the targeting laser on his
Right.
biomass, all in that one scene. So you like learn, oh shit, some of the weapons he has right there. And the only other thing he really has is his blades in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
He doesn't have that disc or anything like
nothing like that. He doesn't have the combi stick, nothing. So yeah, they have the showdown, and like right before the showdown, like it's like again, you got Dutch making all these traps and stuff like that. He finds this perfect spot in the woods that he wants to set a trap in and stuff. He's gonna do. But one part that I never got to, which I read from the novel, stuff like that. So you see the predator. It's like he's heating up his blades.
yeah.
You saw that part where he's doing that. He
Yeah.
was like heating up his stuff. He's fixing he's fixing his shit. He fixes his he's like going he's scanning this stuff, but he fixes his camo. And
Oh.
so yeah, that's why his camo works in the next scene where he's coming through the thing. He's crawling
Oh.
on the tree, and then like Dutch blows up the arrow and fucks up his cloaking again.
Yeah. See, I
Don't
didn't
take
know
much.
that.
Yeah, but yeah, he's fixing his damn cloak, which is really cool. Like little stuff like that you don't know. But yeah, they kind of go at it and stuff like that, and like you get the most iconic line. Is that the most iconic line in the film? I think so. One ugly
When the
motherfucker.
ugly motherfucker, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
but
has to be, yeah.
it's cool because like man, like the predator like wants to fight. He wants to challenge. So he like sees this. He got him, and like he takes off his plasma cannon. Like then he takes off his biomask and everything. He drops it. and He just wants to go one on one.
Yeah.
And it's nice you can actually see his leg still hurt. You see the blood on his leg.
Right.
But yeah, and then of course it's like a slasher villain. We got the face reveal, and the face is just insane for the predator. I think the
Oh
design on
yeah.
it. Uh, the original design, like we said, like they kind of had that ant look, and Alpha didn't work. So
Yeah.
Stan Winston was on the right. I think it was no. The director was on the plane with Stan Winston, and he said he wanted a creature with like mandibles on his face. So they drew that, and the rest is pretty much history. Like if you see the original sketch art drawings he did, they're pretty much spot on, man. They were freaking awesome. Like,
Like and I do like how I mean this is since you had brought up how the teamwork didn't work in like Predators and the Predator. There is one thing that I've always wanted to see how the mandibles would work if someone would have like be attacked with them,
Oh,
and
get
they do
bit.
that in the Predator. I do
Yeah,
like how it did that. Yeah.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, the Predator for his faults. I mean, he's got one of the most violent kills on there, dude. When he catches the dude on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, that thing is. But yeah, and then in the comics, what you call it, Ahab Predator, the Elder
Yeah.
Predator. Yeah, they cut his damn mandible off on of
Oh
space.
damn.
Yeah. So yeah, the Predator he takes his mask off and you're like, man, you just like they can't see shit. Like they just see
Right.
like super like red. Um and it's like, man, how did he become such a badass hunters? But they got like multiple vision modes on there.
Yeah.
But it's like their regular vision is screwed. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, always thought that was like such a bad advantage for him. Like, but like they have other ways to get around it. And it's
Oh
horrible
yeah.
plug, but like it made me think about when I watched it. It made me think about Project Hail Mary because the alien on there is completely blind, but
Oh
they
yeah.
use sound in different ways to communicate.
Yeah.
So
Like you use sound. I mean, especially in that area, the jungle. I mean, you stepping on sticks, leaves, and all kind of stuff. The
yeah,
wet mud. Um. I mean, but also he's probably got his scent. Like he could smell pretty good and
yeah,
stuff
you
like
don't know.
that too.
But yeah, the Predator can do all that really good, but at the same time, he's the worst sport ever. He's like the worst
Right.
loser ever. So like ultimate rage quitter, like when he loses and shit like that. Like just like
Oh, so
fuck
you're
everything.
saying he's like Link? Okay. No.
Yeah, he smashes his controller and he bugs
Yeah.
out. But yeah, like the Predator quits, blows everything up, and then like dude, Mushroom Cloud like blows up. Like
Oh
and,
yeah.
Arnold gets out of there. We see like so we see Kevin Peter Hall as the Predator. And I always wondered like is the Predator probe or ship still on the Earth somewhere? Like something,
Right.
or did they get blown up? Maybe got blown up. See, that would have been a good idea for a sequel, or like that could have
Yeah.
been the Predator. You know how like it crash lands? There's still a
Yeah.
fucking ship in the in the jungle out there.
Yeah. I mean, I know
Um,
they mention it in Predator 2.
yeah.
The
Now, last thing about this movie, start talking about the second one. In your overall opinion on it, but like, yeah, one thing that was kind of cool I didn't know until I saw this movie was this movie until Prey came out that Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator were all 107 minutes long. It was like a
huh.
tradition. And then Prey, they
Uh,
broke that time. Yeah, but they're all 107.
oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, I think the movie holds up amazingly.
Oh yeah.
Even without being like on a this Predator collection kick and some other stuff, like learning the backstory, just as a
Right.
standalone movie and stuff I've seen at one point or another, I think it's fucking awesome. And I think it has a great cast in it. I think it's one of my go-to Arnold films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, I agree with you on that one. I mean, they combine the sci-fi elements perfectly with the action movie stuff. I mean, it's hard to do that in
oh yeah,
so many other movies tried and failed. But
oh
the
all
one
time.
thing, yeah, the one thing I do like, which so many movies do that, and some fail at it. It kept the Predator secret until like the look of it until the perfect time.
Right. I mean, you have no idea like what they're looking at, what they're going against, and stuff like that. Like you just think
Yeah,
it's like some crazy like gorillas in the woods and stuff like that. And
yeah,
you can't really do that. Like now, even if you tell somebody about the Predator, even if they haven't seen it, might have an idea what he looks like. It's such an
yeah.
iconic thing. But
But and like going back, I mean, I know we'll talk about it when we talk about the Predator, but that's where they ruined it. They could have kept the Super Predator so secret, but they put that in the trailers now.
dude, right? Yeah, and like
Yeah,
that trailer. Oh man, like when I saw that trailer, I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? Why?
yeah.
But it will get there. So like I said, yeah, I think it holds up. I think I love it just as much as I always did. Like it never hasn't. I'm not looking at it with rose tinted glasses as over. I think it's just still a great movie.
Oh yeah,
Now,
it's still a great movie.
Predator 2, we're about to talk about. Like when I initially saw it back in the day, I did not like it.
But
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was
it
great
wasn't
by
it
any means.
wasn't like yeah, it wasn't great. But also, I mean, did you know that Peter Cullen voiced the Predator in the first one, Optimus Prime?
In the first one,
Yep.
when does he talk? Oh,
It was like the noises and stuff, like
the
the
gurgling and stuff.
laughing, the
Yeah.
him laughing. That wasn't just a
Mhm.
recording of Sonny Linden or something like that. It
Oh
was
wow.
actually Peter Cullen. Yeah, And
I know in the second one he has more like he's more vocal.
yeah, but
Um,
you also the two people that wrote the screenplay. You know how that came around, right?
no.
It came around with a joke where someone was saying, "Well, damn, after Rocky Four, what
Oh
else
yeah,
can
yeah.
Rocky fight?" Yeah, they said, "Why don't he fight
Have
an
to go to
alien?" And
space.
that's where it came from. Yeah, and
Which
I also like,
I want to see that world. I want to be on that
oh,
world.
that would be cool. Yeah, but also it became an ensemble movie because Arnold read the script
Yeah, he
and it was
loved the
just
script.
him. Yeah, he loved the script, but he didn't like it. It was just him in a jungle fighting the predator. He said, I'll do it at the end, but it's got to have other people in it."
And they were like, "We're bringing Sonny Landon." Oh shit!
Yeah.
He's gonna fight
Jesse
everybody.
Ventura. Damn it, no. That was another Arnold movie that Ventura was in, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, wasn't he in No Holds Barred? Yeah, he was in No Holds Barred. That's a
I
horror
mean,
movie.
he was also in a Demolition Man, but that's not an horror movie.
No, well, that's a good movie.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah, Predator 2. I saw when it came out. I don't think I saw the movies, but I saw it the first chance I got, and I'll never forget. I'll send it to you after this or whatever. I'll show it to you. I had a Predator 2 poster I got from the street fair, and
oh nice.
yeah, but it was like just a standing picture of the Predator, the new Predator,
The
like
skyline.
go. No, no, no. I've
Oh,
never seen this poster again. But it had all his new weapons. Like it had
oh
like
nice.
the little boxes with the little lines to show you like his combi stick, his smart disc, like the biomask. And it was just like a standing picture of the Predator, and it's all his equipment. And like
Yeah,
I think I popped
I,
some balloons or something to
I
get
don't
that
think I've
poster, but
ever
it was in
seen
my
that one. I've seen the
no, it's
one where he's like on with the skyline. He's like it's like something about like a concrete jungle or some shit like that. Or
they have that one, and then they have the one that says not welcome to the jungle. Um New place, new rules, some bullshit.
yeah,
And then like there's the one that and that's another thing, like a lot of people didn't like the poster for Predator 2 because there's no characters. Like you don't see who's in it. Uh I mean, of course, not having Arnold hurt the movie as well.
but yeah,
Uh and like go ahead and you want to talk a little bit about like how that was what it was supposed to be, like originally?
yeah.
Like
I mean,
Predator
you
2?
can. Yeah, I mean, you probably know more about that than me. I didn't look up too much on the background of Predator Two.
Okay. So Predator 2, oh shit, hold on, I got this up real quick.
Yeah.
Uh, there you go.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, I had that poster. I had that poster on one side. My closet would open the two sliding doors, and I had that poster on one side and the Barbie twins on the other. Uh, so yeah, the Predator 2 initially. Oh yeah, so this is going to be for you more than anyone else. So originally, Predator 2, before Predator 2 was even made, they started doing Predator comics because the Predator
Right.
was so popular. And the Predator comic they did was actually called Concrete Jungle, and
Okay.
it takes place in New York. And instead of being Danny
Los
Glover's
Angeles.
character and stuff in it,
Yeah.
yeah, Los Angeles stuff. Instead of being Dutch Schaefer, it's his fucking brother. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, which is it's something else. It's something Schaefer. Uh
Sweden.
yeah,
No.
no, but he looks like Arnold. Like he's just a big buff dude, like Arnold, stuff like
Okay.
that. And like he knows all about it. And the Predator like comes after him because like either like Dutch is missing. I forgot exactly why he goes after him, but they go like they fight multiple times, and like even winds up going to Russia and fighting them in there and stuff
Fighting,
like that
fighting Dracula.
with a hot Russian chick. But they go inside the Predator ship, but the Predator likes heat, so the ship's really hot. So she has to strip down to they have to strip down to hit just his
Right.
muscles, and Predator stripped down to almost nothing. Read that at a young age, and I thought it was really good. But they took some
You heard
stuff.
strip down. That was it. Huh? No.
Yeah, they took some of that stuff with like the city aspect and everything and stuff like that, the concrete
Yeah.
jungle and the cop, but instead of being Dutch's brother. But their initial idea was to bring Arnold back for the
Right.
sequel. Always to bring Arnold back, even for the third one was the plan. And the idea he was supposed to show up. He was supposed to be Gary Busey's character basically, but
Oh, okay.
not crazy like that. Not like how they were going to be a special team that hunts the predators, and that team was established after the first movie. So they've
Right.
been like trying to find the predator again, and like basically like he was going to come in and kind of like help and bust ass, save the day and stuff like that at the end and everything. Not probably would have died. A little bit
I
different. A
guess
little bit
when
different
well, I
story.
don't think they would have killed him. I guess whenever he turned it down, they brought in Gary Busey. They're like, we don't care if he died. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I did put that Gary Busey's always playing crazy.
And this was like a year after, like, so we'll get to the cast, but yeah, he was in a special place in this movie.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, this film came out in 1990, and people hated this when it came out. No Arnold. They said it was way too violent. There was a lot of movies at this time period that were just getting heat for being really violent. Die Hard 2 came out like around the same time. And there was something else that was another
but
sequel that
I
people were
guess
just like,
because I mean, but you look at it, it's really not as much more violent than the first one.
no, it's not that much violent. If anything, it's the language, man. Like they curse so
Yeah,
much in this movie, like nonstop. Just and like I have no problem with it because I thought it was great, but like sometimes cursing hides bad writing because you don't have anything better to say, you know.
right.
Um, Sometimes it feels like that in this movie because it's just so fucking much. And some of the lines
Yeah,
are really weird. Some of the shit they say is really weird. But they were going for this look. It was supposed to be like set in the future, a few years, 7 years in the future. So they didn't know what gun. Like really, the only futuristic things they had was talking computers. And their guns were like high tech and
right.
something else. But it was like nothing really high tech.
No,
And dude, everything in this movie is ugly. Like everything's ugly,
yeah.
dude. Like
The one thing they got
cities.
wrong, the one thing they got wrong. I mean, it's the future Los Angeles, but Los Angeles isn't the gun crazy future that they predicted.
You know.
It's the one that
Um,
shall get rid of all the guns.
right. But yeah, and that was the other reason they all. It was supposed to be like super hot and everything. That was a part of the story. But that was another reason they all wearing damn like hats and stuff like that. But dude, the clothes they were just horrible, man.
Yeah,
And
like
especially
Danny,
Danny
it's
Glover's
supposed to be
clothes.
hot, and he's wearing like long sleeves and shit like that, constantly
Dude,
sweating.
when you, yeah, dude, they always sweating, dude. They always got the pit stains.
Oh,
Uh,
yep,
spe- Especially like the first scene with in the get there with the police station, we see Bill Paxton's character for the first time. Dude, he's got sweat coming out his back, his arms. Like at first, I thought it was like I was imagining. I was like,
he looks like a creepy uncle that's a used car salesman.
he talks like
Yeah,
it too.
yeah, it talks like.
But yeah,
But
let's talk about so like he got ripped up when he came out in reviews. I think today, like I said, I think it's pretty good.
oh yeah, it is.
But main cast, of course, Danny Glover. Everybody knows him from Lethal Weapon,
Yeah,
and
but
that,
if
like
you
he was
notice,
almost like
Yeah,
he's
he's
playing Riggs.
playing. Yeah, he's playing more of a Riggs character than a Murtaugh character in that one.
Dude, he plays more Riggs than Riggs, man. Because
Yeah.
like I had wrote in my notes, like I was like, he's a fucking asshole, man. Like, he's
Oh
just
yeah.
like I can understand why his commander like hates him stuff like that, man. Like he broke every rule that he gave him, like everything they told him not to
Exactly.
do. It's just
Like
like
don't go after this. He goes right after it.
don't enter a crime scene. You know, don't go,
Yeah, just a crime scene. Yeah.
yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Don't drive your car to like crazy shooting Jamaicans or whatever cartel.
Don't sweat. He starts sweating.
Everybody. But yeah, he's been in a lot of other stuff like a Grown or something like that. Uh, that's where most people know him from. Gary Busey. Um, he
Crazy as
had gotten a
always.
yeah, he had gotten a bad motorcycle accident like a year before this movie came out,
Yeah,
like a
not wearing a
brain.
helmet and stuff like that. Yeah, he still won't
Mhm.
wear a helmet.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, they said
I mean,
like he was in like the whole time on the set he was stayed in character and it was just like over the top like that. Had to be something.
I mean,
Um,
but he's always been good at playing crazy like that.
yes. Um, Bill Paxton.
Yep,
Probably most them.
he's completing the being killed trifecta: Terminator, Alien, and Predator.
Yeah.
You know,
This is like
it took me to rewatching this to realize that that was him that the Predator was ripping the spine out of.
oh dude, that
Yeah,
scene is yeah. But yeah, I had forgot about that kind of a little bit because it's been a while since I've seen it. And I was
yeah.
just like, oh, going in the sub. Oh shit. Like
But also, I think the only time I really watched it was when it was playing like on TBS when they played movies and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, that scene was complete cut.
yeah,
Um so yeah, it's like the plot, I mean, it takes place in Los Angeles. There's a heat wave going on, super hot. Everything's going crazy, like freaking all the gangs, like the freaking Jamaicans, the
oh, the
Colombians, and
bad Jamaican
the cops.
accents.
Oh yeah. Um and then like Danny Glover, like they have this big shootout at the beginning, like the Predator's already there. Like the Predator's there from the get go, and like
Yeah.
he's watching all this shit unfold. In fact, like if they never got involved, the Predator would have like just killed every gang in the city, man. Just like
Yeah,
clean the
they
city
could
up.
just let them go.
Yeah, just let them come clean up, man. Give them a badge.
Yeah, I mean that part where with the after Danny Glover meets with the drug lord,
Oh,
and
King Willie.
yeah, and that scream, and then it just cuts to the head. Dude, I love that part.
That's one of the best parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the part that was dumb at the beginning, like part that I thought was stupid right at the beginning. It's like after he drives the car like up the street and stuff like that, and he sneaks up on like these guys, and like dude, he's got the drop on like 5 dudes, and he's like, "Hey, assholes!" And they turn around. It's like, who would do that, man? Like, you deserve to be shot to death. Like,
Yeah, you could have just killed all of them and before they
yeah,
even knew it.
I double tap one. I mean, dude. Uh, so they because of what he does, like the gang all goes back into the building, and like, dude, they're just like arming the hell up, man. They got like
Oh
everything
yeah.
possible: cocaine, rocket launchers, grenades, and the Predator just boom, busts in and just murders them all, man. And you don't see
Oh
it,
yeah.
but it's awesome. You see the aftermath when he comes in, and they go in there, and like the dude comes busting out, shooting at the Predator, kills one of the cops just randomly. They chase the guy to the roof. But that's when we see like the first heat vision. When I was kind of saying like the heat vision in this movie is way way better looking.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you can see clearly like the outlines and colors of people and stuff like that. It's very clear.
But
Um,
for the heat wave, I mean that heat vision worked pretty good,
uh, and then yeah, Danny Glover. I had wrote he was wearing some fucking clown pants on the when he was on the roof. Dude. Like his pants were like all the way up to his nipples, and like they were so big.
The
Uh,
baggy. He was wearing the old school Jinko jean. No.
oh man, the dad Jinko jeans. Um, But yeah, he sees the predator like early. Like he sees the predator, but he like he blows it off to being crazy. He's just sitting on the
Yeah.
roof like sweating. Where's my Danny boy? Danny boy.
Yeah.
Those yeah. And I
Blows
never
it
like
as the heat and stuff like that too, probably. Yeah.
yeah. Um but yeah, dude, when he was fussing with his boss on the street, when they're hollering on the road, dude, I was laughing. Like, it's like he just like goes like he goes after him, man. Like he's just like, oh, and like they
Yeah.
pull him off. And he's just like, fuck. It's just like, dude, like you need anger management, bro. Like
Right.
bad,
But
like
also,
bad.
it's like, man, I wish I could do that to my boss.
Right? Just go chase after him and like get fucking yeah. Uh, but yeah, we see the police station, dude. Like, why was so many police stations like this in the '80s movies? Where it's just like fucking chaos, man. Like, there's like
Right.
100 people in the damn lobby, and like they're trying
It
to get everybody's screaming, everybody's going off.
it
Somebody
brought me
pulls out a
back.
gun
It
out,
brought
and
me
they're like,
back to RoboCop.
dude, that's a reminder. Yeah,
Yeah.
RoboCop, or like where somebody breaks loose and somebody gets yeah. I was waiting for somebody to pull out a gun in there, but that's what
Waiting for Kurt Willis Smith to show up and just spit blood and say, "Give me my fucking phone call."
yeah. Uh, yeah, Bill Paxton. We see everybody's all sweaty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dude, and Tig grabs his nuts. Like, I'm just like, what
Yeah.
the shit? Like,
I
she
mean,
grabs his balls.
I let
And,
her.
yeah. But, like, it's just, she, like, they, like, go away. Like, it's so funny. Like, it's just, I mean, it's 80s, but it's just like,
Yeah.
and he comes in there, he's like, bitch on the rag. Like, I was like, what the hell? But, like, dude, I laugh because, like, they were in there, like shoulder to shoulder, laughing and stuff, like pointing at him, getting his nuts grabbed and stuff like that, like in the
Yeah.
hallway and stuff, and like in the room, like with light. And then like Danny Boy goes out there to meet her, and then like he comes in there, Lone Ranger goes in there, but dude, like all the lights are turned down real dim, and it's like the old school detective, like the shades, like he's like
Yeah.
standing sitting in the shadow, and he, like giving them the talk. It's just like he's got the mood light set, but I don't know. And then yeah, and then for random out of nowhere, we get a fucking sex scene. Uh,
Right.
which I had this movie was going to be rated NC-17. It was going to be one of the first,
Oh
and
wow.
they toned down like some of the shots of the bodies hanging and stuff like that,
Right.
and they cut some time off that sex scene. So how much longer could that sex scene have been? Because you already
Right.
saw the chick naked the whole time. I mean, I guess 30 seconds or something. I don't know.
How long is too long? Just cut off 30 seconds.
Right.
Well, it's only been 30 seconds.
How about how about if we just watch it through the Predator's heat vision?
Right.
No. But again, yeah, they're about to sacrifice this dude, Voodoo Magic Man, and like all this stuff
Yeah.
like that. Uh, gotta take your soul too, and he's like putting the shit on him and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
dude, the
because they
Predator
think
just
it's his gang killing this gang, and
And a predator jumps it comes in again and takes his heart out. We don't see that. That's probably
Yeah.
also got cut. But yeah, the predator comes in and just fucking starts killing him. And like just like I was saying with the original movie with that scene, this one we see almost all of his new stuff, all his new
Right.
toys right there. So we get to see the spear launch, like the net launcher. So he launches the net. We see the spear launcher, like he launches the little spear, which is a weird angle. It goes way up in the ceiling somehow,
Yeah.
like ricochets. Uh, we get to see the combi stick, the extended stick. Kills like 3 people with that thing. Um, and then yeah, I mean like you actually see him too. Like he uncloaks for a second.
Yeah.
Remember the guy? So like it's only 25 minutes of the film, and we've like fully seen the predator, and like
Everything. Yeah.
yeah.
I ain't gonna
Um,
lie. His weapons are pretty good. And
oh yeah, well they had like years to kind of develop and kind of work with it, and they kept like kind of
yeah.
build from that. Yeah, I mean a lot of the stuff that we see in this movie like is the standard for predators now.
Yeah.
There's some here and there new things that pop up, like especially like in Prey has some really cool stuff. That's one of the reasons why people love Requiem for so much because Wolf. That Predator, he had all kinds of crazy weapons. Like he had
Oh
double
yeah.
plasma cannon, shoulder cannons, and he made it to a damn gun. And
Oh yeah.
then he had a damn alien tail for a whip. He was using and shit like that. Yeah, he had some of the cool stuff. And then like AVP has the freaking shurikens, like the big shuriken blades they use.
Yeah.
Those things are badass. I think those are cooler than smart discs.
Oh yeah.
They're both awesome, but like that just looks badass when you like cutting face huggers and shit in half and stuff. But the
Right.
smart disc, man, like when it's going through all that, like when it lights up, the effect they
Yeah.
do on him, that's badass. I like that. But yeah, and Harrigan, like they show up again, and he's like, again, fuck the rules.
Yeah.
Literally, like they tell him the rules. Like it's like, don't go in. He hears on the radio, he's like, oh, we didn't hear that shit, and just go there anyway. It's just like fucking crime scene. Like any lawyer would be like, oh, they contaminated the crime scene. Like
Right. And the news guy that he just gets Bill
oh,
Paxton. I
Morton.
love how he distracts him and shit like that. Just
Yeah, he runs up to him. I'm your favorite fan. That was Morton Downey Jr. So he had his own talk show like in the 2000s, early 2000s, or something like
right.
that. And then like he went in the bathroom at some game or something like that and beat himself up, shaved his head, and said like these Nazis grabbed him and beat him up and like threw a swastika. And it wound up being fake, and something that ruined his career. He's dead
So
now,
like
but
so he pulled a Jussie Smollett. Okay.
yes, he did before Jesse Smollett. Yep. Uh, but yeah, man, like he goes upstairs and like, dude, it's freaking gory, man. We see multiple bodies,
Right.
hanging. And then like the predator, like there's no in the scene before that, he just takes one away, like while they're there, like as
Yeah.
soon as they
Just
walk
takes
away, he's
one
like,
up
oh,
and yeah.
that's mine. But yeah, they noticed the blade in the vent. Danny notices in the vent.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, the little. What was it? The little. Like the little.
little projectile,
You.
like the little blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not on the periodic table, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we see like that the government, like the guy is actually filming it, like Morton Jr. and stuff like that. He's like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
government cut up, government." He says it's a government cover up, and
Yeah.
it makes me laugh because that's I think when she says, she tells him they're at the thing, and she's like, "Are your balls okay?" He's like, "Oh, how are yours?" Laugh my ass off.
That is funny. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. He's like, "Fine, how are yours?" Yeah. Uh, Now Danny's deaf. So Danny, like, again, doesn't listen. Nobody
Right.
listens. Nobody. He goes back to the scene of the crime, like breaks the crime scene tape, and goes in there. Uh, and his death is like straight slasher villain, man, like straight
Well, yeah.
horror. But like he like climbs all the way up in the ceiling and gets up there. Because at first I was like, how the fuck you gonna reach it? But I forgot. He climbs up there and he's like on the top of the roof part. And dude, like the creepiest part of all, man, the predator just like uses his boy's voice on him.
Right.
It's like Danny boy, and then like he falls, but the predator fucking like
Yeah.
fucking predator
Catches
grabs
him.
his fucking dude, pulls him up, man. And then like the blood falls on his necklace, which is really weird. That
Like
weird
there was no
necklace.
point of that scene with the necklace and stuff like that. But I guess to
Until
like
later.
find it, yeah, until
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
But I mean,
I want to
like you
know
said,
like how he get the blade
right?
because like they never show Harrison go back to the prime and find his boy dead because obviously he wouldn't have even been there. He probably been skinned and taken
Yeah,
away. But he would the necklace would have been gone too. So the blade was just on the ground. I mean, because he has
yeah,
it
it's
later.
yeah,
There's a
it's
there's a part
it's
missing.
weird. Yeah,
Um, But yeah, there's no transition for his death. It just happens, and then like he's at the police station, like going off, like swearing revenge and justice and stuff, and
Yeah.
then he both charges the other guy, like what's his face? I can't remember his name though. Gary Busey's character's name.
Oh, I can't. I'm trying to remember it.
It'll come back anyway.
Yeah.
Keys.
Keys. Yeah.
Yeah, but he goes charging that and attacks his ass. I'm like, dude, this dude is out of control, bro.
Yeah. Like he should have been suspended without pay, and
Yeah, and so it's their fault, man. Like they told you not to go there at the beginning. Then you went back, and then you went back without backup. You know, like his death's on your hands, pretty much. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, like, and then we see Keys is up to something, man. He's got some big crazy setup, man. He's got this like RVs. He's got like freaking monitors and cameras going on. They're setting up
Right.
something big. Well, you don't know what it is yet. That would have been an Arnold thing.
Yeah, that would have been interesting if it would have been Arnold.
Oh yeah, I want to live in that world.
And it makes you wonder: would they have killed Dutch?
I don't think so.
I don't think they would have.
I think they would. I think they would have killed Harrigan first.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, he says he wants to talk to King Willie, and then all of a sudden King Willie's car pulls up. Dude.
Right.
And that car will make you fail a fucking drug screen. Like just.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, some ganja man. Yeah. But yeah, he goes to meet King Willie, and I'm like, I couldn't remember. Like I remember the scene, but like I couldn't remember where he met King Willie. I was like, oh, he's gonna go meet him at his base or something like that. But no, they're gonna meet him in the damn alley.
In a damn
And,
alley.
yeah, and they said during the making of this movie, they filmed a lot of it in Los Angeles, and the residents hated them filming like on the streets and stuff. So they would literally throw urine and shit at the crew and stuff while they were filming stuff. And then when they did some of the scenes in the alley, they actually found a couple bodies. They found like 2 or 3 bodies and giant rats. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so the crew was feeling pretty unsafe when they were filming it.
Could have been one of their bodies now.
Yeah. But anyway, King Willie, like, so he meets King Willie and he talks to him and he says, like, oh, the thing you're hunting is on the other side. He's talking about like a zombie or something. You know, like you don't have no idea, like a supernatural.
Yeah.
We know what it is. As an audience, we you know we're like ahead everybody in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, everybody already knows. But yeah, Predator jumps down, like something falls, hits the water, draws his attention, and then the Predator jumps down. And dude, such a badass thing. The way they shot that with 2 cameras, and they have like this machine like making the steps like look like a pier. Dude, it looks so fucking good. And,
Oh
like,
yeah.
it holds up, man, as an effect. Like with no
Definitely.
CGI and stuff.
Yeah, it's better. It's better if they. I mean, it's better that they didn't use CGI.
Oh yeah, I mean, 1994 Jurassic Park was really the first one. So
Yeah.
we're still a couple years away from that. This was actually one of the last movies that used forgot what kind of special effects, but it was like old school special effects. And old school, like the Predator 1 and the cameras they use. Predator 1, I forgot to mention when we were talking about it, is real grainy. And part of why some grainy sometimes is like they were accidentally load the wrong film in the wrong cameras. So they were switching shots and stuff like that. The Ultimate Edition for Predator, the DVD, is like almost unwatchable because they cleaned it up so much and everybody looks fucking like they got the damn Snapchat
Plastic.
filters on. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing I didn't mention for the Predator one. I do like the new design over the old one.
What's that?
The,
Do you like the Predator in this movie?
No, the new design of the Predator that they used instead of the ant one.
Oh, right. Okay. So, because a lot of people don't like the Predator in this movie, like the way he looks compared to the Jungle Hunter. Like,
I actually like that one. The City Hunter, I like that one.
The City Hunter.
I mean, it's not better than the Jungle Hunter, but
they're different. I mean, they're way different. Like on that, the outfits like different. They're different. It could be different tribes, but like, the City Hunter skin, he's more of an orange. He's got more of an orange skin tone to him. He has these tribal like stripes on him. They try to make him look a little bit more urban. But he has like these stripes on him, and then he has like a tribal. His head is indented more, and he's got like these markings that go up his head.
Which you could also put it as that's the different tribes, they hunt in different areas, and that's why he looks more like urban because it's an urban area.
They asked them why Predator looks so different. He's like, they're different creatures. They're different. Same species, they're different creatures. They're not gonna look exactly the same.
I mean, it's like they say, we're the same species but different race. I mean, it's
right. And like the biomask, they changed the mask up and stuff like that. You know, the mask is like more. I like the mask a lot.
Oh yeah, the mask is pretty good.
Yeah, it's got the big old eyes on it and stuff. But anyway, yeah, King Willie dies. Your favorite death? I think one of the best deaths in the movie series by far. That transition is so cool with that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I do like how they show him preserving the skull and stuff like that.
yes, so King Willie has some of like the best lines too. He has like the lines from the. He's awesome as hell, but he has
Yeah,
like the lines from the trailer, like "Oh, it's from the other side." He's like, "You can't look into the eyes of the demon man." He says something else too, but it was all. I remember all those lines in the trailer. But yeah,
right.
they show him cleaning the skulls. You actually kind of see the alien skull for a second. But
Yeah,
yeah, they actually like breaking it out and cleaning it, and this was a good one. Keeping this one.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, and after this happens, man, like all the gang stuff is just done. Like there's no
yeah.
more mention of it. It's done. King
Well,
Willie's
we
dead.
we just killed the big Jamaican boss. We're good. No.
Yeah, so it's all kind of evolves now to like the predator hunt. We're going after the
Yeah,
predator and stuff like that. But yeah, Harrigan and the weirdest like I was like I didn't remember this part. Uh, he goes to the graveyard to go to Danny's grave, and like the fucking predator's there for some reason.
right.
Like,
There's no
is
reason
he
for it to
hunting
be
him? Is
there.
he tracking him? Like, I don't know. Like, but like, there's a little kid running around with a gun in the park in the graveyard, and he sees the predator, and he asks him if he wants some candy. And the predator
Right.
thinks that's a great line, so he copies that real quick. But
Must sound true. Maybe
yeah,
that's where they got the autism thing for the predators. That
yeah, maybe. But yeah, and then like he hangs the necklace, dude, and it's just like you're a fucking ass predator. Like, like what are you doing, man? Like,
like you're a dick, man.
yeah, like this dude's already on like the on on rage, like he's already on hinge and stuff like that. Like he thinks he's crazy. He saw something on the roof, like his best friend died.
Right.
Like all this shit's going on. He's kicked off the case, and here you are, fucking hanging necklaces and shit, man. Like making it worse. Uh, but yeah, it was just cold, man. And then the subway scene, like we have the subway scene. Let's talk about that. The subways. Uh, it's probably my least favorite part of the whole movie. Subway part. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
like the subway
I'm just
car. Like after the subway car is cool when the chase
yeah,
starts. But like subway car, I don't know, man. Like it just felt unnecessary.
yeah,
Like,
too claustrophobic, and I was laughing at how gun crazy LA was.
well, that and like the thing is, like, they're going there, they're going to meet him, so they're taking the subway
Right.
to get there, and then like, uh, people are like on the subway, like mess with the girl, and then they go and they mess with the guy. Everybody pulls a gun out, like you said,
Right.
everybody. And then the predator just like falls on top of the subway and starts crawling on there, like what the fuck, and like he
Yeah.
just busts in, and like what was the predator doing? Like like well, I was he just smells guns. It's so weird.
Right. Yeah, it's just
Um,
weird.
it's a weird scene, and it could be out. And then like he jumps in there, and like, dude, this scene will kill an epileptic in a second.
Oh
Like
yeah, definitely.
it's just wow, like flashing even miles. Like holy crap.
The
Um,
only thing I really liked about that, well, towards the end of the scene, it shows that yes, he wants to kill its prey. He wants to kill his prey and stuff like that. But he also does kind of have like a conscience because she had a gun. He could have chose to use her as a threat, and then he found out she was pregnant and was like, "That done."
been cool if he cut his hand off and then like fixed it for her. Sorry.
Right?
Like, I mean, he shot Dylan's arm off, man. He just pointed the gun out,
Yeah.
then
But
scanned his ass yet.
yeah, but
Um,
he's a man. He knew that. No.
so yeah, the predator doesn't kill pregos, and
Yeah.
the other thing that we learned in this scene and stuff like that is like Lone Ranger, like Bill Paxton is a horrible fucking shot, dude.
Yeah, that is true.
There's a 7 foot something predator standing in front of you, man, and you unload 2 rounds. Like he unloaded, like he filled
Two
that
mags, yeah.
he reloaded, yeah. Well, I think he had a revolver he was using,
A
right?
revolver, so like
So
two.
that's 12 shots. But dude, like I mean, the predator was like right there. He missed every damn shot, and the predator picks him up, wants some candy. We don't see him die, but we see him get picked up, like it's
Yeah.
like about to like freaking like break his neck or something. But we see what happens to him. Um, yeah, so she goes after him, and he shows up. Is it him chasing? Yeah, he sees him dude rip that freaking head out, man. That thing
Yeah.
is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, because he finds her, like, she's, like, passed out.
Yes. Yeah, he runs
Yeah.
into he comes down there, he sees her passed out, finds out she's still alive. He goes down there looking for him and like runs through another damn crime scene. Uh
Yeah. And that's whenever he finds him ripping Bill Paxton's character skull out.
Dude, yes.
Well, spine and skull, yeah.
Oh yeah, and like dude just and then going up the thing, like going up the shaft. And then he
Yeah.
starts chasing after him like, dude, I can I drive okay at night. I struggle to see, but this motherfucker's driving at night and like watching this, like, keeping the track of the
Right.
predator, like running from
You
rooftop
know
to
what that
rooftop.
scene reminded me of? They did the same thing in The Crow, where when the crow is running and you see the cop driving, looking up,
Yeah.
like, no, I would have done a wreck like 10 times already.
Uh, but yeah, he's driving after him, and then he gets taken out. Like he gets hit by a truck, taken out. It's
Right.
keys, and they grab him, and like, dude, they grab him just way too early, man. Because if you'd had another second, he would saw the coolest shot in the film, man. That's like pretty much like the Predator on the roof with the
Yeah.
skull. He's got his comm stick. He's on the top of the roof with the skull, and then lightning hits him, man. Like
Yeah,
that's
that was a good scene.
oh yeah, it's just like, I think I like this one better.
Right.
But yeah, it's so cool, man. But Harrigan meets up with Keys and all his men, and like he basically gets the gist, the lowdown of everything,
Yeah.
including the first movie. And we even see Anna on the screen. You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came back for that scene, for that little screen scene. But this is
Oh, I
like one of
didn't.
also the first movies that you see, even though he's not a Baldwin brother, but his name is still Adam Baldwin.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the, yeah.
And then you find out what Key's motive is too. So what he's doing, like he wants to capture the predator. They want their technology and stuff like that. Of course, the
Yeah,
government wants the technology and stuff.
of course.
Um,
That's the downfall of our government. They want what everybody else has. No.
yeah. Which makes me interested in what it would have been if it was Arnold, if it was just trying to kill the predator or not.
Yeah.
And then, like, fundamentally, like they had a solid plan. Like they realized kind of how the predator worked. They figured out it was
Yeah, they
infrared.
realized how he
And
was seeing, and
yeah, so they had a freaking plan. I mean, they went in there. Like, they had suits that hide their heat and stuff like that. And they go
yeah,
in there and they use the special lights. And I love how like the predators, like at first, like not he's just doing his thing, coming
yeah,
back or whatever. He's coming to eat some meat because they said he goes in there and feeds, which just bites into a piece of damn cow. But yeah, like they're in there and like they step on something, and it's like, all right, I know he's blind, but y'all thought he was deaf too,
right.
like because that's what makes him stop. He's just like, "Ooh," like, and he hears it, and then he's like, something's in here, and like he starts switching his visors, um, and he switches and he sees like the lights, and I love that
Yeah,
scene because dude, the predator like he makes a noise. He's like, he pulls back like, you motherfucker, like y'all got me, like
like,
he's like
oh
so
no, like,
mad.
yeah. If y'all wouldn't have stepped on this and made noise, y'all would have had me,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
but he like steps back
But
like it's such a cool thing. And then like they have that line, and we clarified it before we recorded, but like in the subtitles, I'm telling you, it says, "Now you die." That's what the predator
yeah,
says, but it's saying, oh dear God."
yeah,
That's but
or
which is
Mother
from
of God.
Danny Boy, yeah,
Yeah,
Mother of God. But like, man,
but
it sounds a lot like, but I don't recall anybody else saying "Now you die."
right. Also, I mean, I do like how that it shows that the predator is more resourceful. Like he can't see anything that he knows. Like he can hear something, but it shows how good of a hunter he is that he can't see, but he's like, let me switch my spectrums,
Yeah,
and that's where he finds out. Yeah,
and
like
it's
how
very clear that
resourceful he is. Yeah,
using the wrist computer and stuff like that. He's
yeah,
not packing them ass like we would think, but yeah,
yeah,
everything's tied to that wrist computer. Which is why when it's the back. So if you look at they changed the way he was designed a little bit with like his medical kits like lower on his back, but like their plasma cannon and everything is their source of power for like most of their stuff like that. Um, which is actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I was saying because when the arm gets cut off after this part, like, that's why it doesn't blow up because it's not
right.
connected to the suit anymore. But the jungle predator didn't have one on, but I guess it's somewhere else on the suit. I don't know, or maybe just
Yeah,
once it gets disconnected from the body. But you can't put them together. I don't know. If you
no,
do that, you're gonna be crazy. Because I mean, shit,
it's movie
AVP
logic.
yeah, AVP Scar takes the whole thing off, throws
Yeah,
it, which is awesome. By the way,
right. And it's like, wait, why didn't it blow up? Oh, because it was in the script. That's what.
uh, plot armor.
Yeah, plot
But
armor.
but anyway, yeah, the predator gets straight pissed when he finds out deception, and he goes after them all, stuff like that, and like, man, he takes like 3 of them out with the comm stick. Oh, you know what part that made me laugh my ass off
What
is
was that?
right when he switches the vision and stuff like that, and he realizes something there. Fucking Harrigan gets on the radio and he's like, "Get out of there! He sees you!" And Keys is like, "Who the hell is this? Get off the line!" It's like, what the fuck, man? Who cares who it is, man?
Yeah.
Don't you? The alien, the predator can see your ass. But,
Yeah, like because he's like going around to get behind them.
yeah, he's flanking him. He's getting.
But that's the thing. It's his own men aren't even saying anything. Like it's Harrigan,
Yeah, he's like,
the one who's
"Get
been
out of there!"
breaking all the
It's like,
rules, trying to tell you, who doesn't like you, trying to tell you, hey, get out of there.
"What's this? Clear the line."
Yeah.
But yeah,
I,
awesome predator. We get some kind of updated stuff here. We get to see like some more stuff with the combi stick kills. We saw the new vision modes,
yeah.
but we really got to see some cool stuff with the plasma cannon because this is it was all new scope and stuff like that. But you actually got to see
Yeah.
how it's kind of articulated. And dude, that freaking no look fucking shot when he shoots at
Yeah.
Keys.
When it comes like the camera rushing up to his face.
Yes.
That was a pretty good one too.
And then like I guess but like water shorts out his camo, like he's camouflaging
I
and like the
guess,
spray come on.
but also what I'm wondering why didn't the plasma cannon kill Keys? That's what I want.
Yeah, they show his face is all burnt, so maybe
Yeah.
he
He might have
dodged,
done
or maybe one of those big pieces of meat swung down like right before, like,
maybe.
took the brunt of it. But yeah, the predator ghost, he basically chases. Starts they have a big chase kind of fight,
Yeah.
and like Harrigan like backs himself into a wall and like has a shotgun and shoots him like 3 times in the
Yeah.
gut, and predator falls backwards, and for some reason decides to go take his mask off. Like,
Right.
I'd just shoot him again,
Right.
but
And
and
that's
that's
when
a
you
weird.
get the iconic line, but the Predator says the ending of it.
Yeah, it's weird that the predator says it. I always thought it was
Yeah.
weird. Oh, fuck. That's why a lot of people I don't like his
It
face.
makes you wonder. I mean,
His
yes,
eyes are
you
a little bit
probably
too
been
big.
hearing a lot like how the hell did he know that's what he was gonna say or should have said it at that point? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. But it'd be funny if people like, want some ganja ma.
Or it would have been funny if it would have said it in Arnold's voice, motherfucker.
That would be great. Uh, but yeah, the predator, like his face was the reason I said one of the big things they had a lot more fangs and stuff like that. The
Yeah.
head was more sunken in. He had the tribal marking on there. But yeah, then Keys shows up. He's still alive. He pops in there and he tells him to take off.
For
He
like 2
basically like,
seconds.
yeah, and he takes a smart disc out, and that effect when he takes it out, like it lights up, like lights come out of it and stuff. That looks so
Yeah.
cool. And he chunks it at him, cuts him in half.
But see, that's the death I have a problem with. It's
You don't
not
see
that.
this closer.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's like, okay, you see every other part falling down as it's going through the cows, the carcasses of the cows, and then you just see the legs fall. What the hell happened to the upper
Maybe
body?
he was holding on to the meat. Um, but yeah, the rooftop scene. They're on the roof, and we get to see the predator using the breather,
Yeah,
which the city hunter damage one comes with, which is kind of cool. That's what that scene's from. But yeah, the predator man like freaking launches the. It's a pretty cool scene. But like, this is the part of the birds. I was watching with subtitles. He says birds like 3 times. He's like, birds, damn birds, like
birds,
birds.
birds,
Yeah.
birds.
He throws the commie stick at him, man, and like I like how like Harrigan's resourceful. He goes after it. Like he sees him going
Yeah,
after the stick. Like he's paying attention to the stick. He sees him going for the staff, and he goes for it too. And they go over the fucking roof, which is nuts. And
right.
when it pans over, like, oh, your move, pussy face. Great line.
It is.
But yeah, like the predator goes like again. Oh, game over time. Boop boop boop.
Yeah.
Starts doing it, and
Boop,
Har-
boop, 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 boop.
Harrigan like grabs the fucking smart disc, figures it out, cuts his fucking hand off.
Right.
But yeah, the predator. Um, I remember the part with the arm. Like when I was younger, the part with the arm really stuck with me. His arm getting cut off because I thought that was crazy.
Well,
But like
but
the bathroom, when he goes in the bathroom, he just starts fucking making meth and shit. Like,
yeah, see, that's the part that stuck out with me, like how he made the stuff to the med stuff and just all
yeah,
that shit. Yeah,
yeah,
because
because
I,
I
I
mean,
couldn't
literally
remember.
started cooking meth. Like he like started breaking the glass and melting
Yeah,
it down the mirror,
I
and he had that
couldn't
little.
remember for the longest time. I was like, before I saw it again while I was at work this past time for this, I couldn't remember. I was like, where have I seen like a predator just breaking glass and taking sheetrock and putting it in a sink and just mixing all kind of stuff? Just and then finally that hit. I was like, that's where I see it.
Yeah, predator on a house swap.
Right?
But yeah, it's a different style metal kit and stuff like that. But it's like a different style predator and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dude, the old lady always makes me laugh every time I see this movie. Like her reaction is not realistic at all, but like still.
No.
Uh, dude, he just and bro, you can see how big he comes through that door like freaking the Kool-Aid man, bro. Just busting in the
Oh
hall.
yeah.
Harrigan chases after him, and he's pretty easy to follow. But it's like he finds him going down the tunnel, and then he goes down the tunnel, and like the elevator starts coming down, he falls, and like you don't see how far he's fallen, but like
No.
it's on the ship, and the ship was designed to look like a snail, like kind of goes inside and have like very futuristic looking inside, but at the same time very like primal, natural looking inside, I guess,
Right.
and it works. But I just don't get and never will understand like where the fuck that ship is. Like, is it underneath the apartment? Like it could have been
I
like
have no
somewhere.
clue. It's a good question. I mean, because it
It needs to
seems
be
like it's
cloaked.
a
It needs to
huge
be
ship.
cloaked.
Yeah.
It's
But
yeah. There's a lot. There's 10 predators in there for
yeah,
sure.
and not only that, how did it get underneath there?
Yeah, and because they weren't. If you're following the lore from like the backstory and the stuff like that, I never read the novel for this, but especially the backstory with the Lost Tribe and stuff like that, they weren't there that long.
No.
Like they sent some of the other predators went out and did missions on the other places for that. But Greyback was basically there to watch Ghost, this new city hunter, on his first hunt, real hunt. You
Right.
know, he had already been bloody, killed an alien. That's why you get your plasma cannon. But he was doing his first like off-world hunt, like wherever hunt, and
Right.
he was good at it. He was killing a lot of people, and but he was really cocky and young. And that was one of the things when we were talking earlier. Kevin Peter Hall didn't want to come back because it was too hot and uncomfortable in the conditions of the suit. But when we read the script for it, this was like a much younger, more agile, more ferocious kind of like predator. He was really into that, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, like he liked that thing. So I'm glad he came back. I
Oh
think
yeah. He did it. I mean, he did a good job as the Predator.
yeah. So we see the ship, like wherever it is underneath, and it's awesome, man. It's like fucking really cool, iconic look for. It's basically been that's a lot. Every time you see Predator stuff, you see a lot of those markings and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the ships look more realistic later on, like um, the ship in AVP
Yeah.
and the ship in
And
even the ship in Prey. You see for a second, looks like
yeah.
real nice. But yeah, he's like checking everything out, and that's where you see the skull case. You see King Willie's skull, but you see the Xenomorph skull and like
Yeah.
T-Rex skull or some shit like that, some other crazy stuff. And then like they start fighting. They have a big fight, and well, not a big fight, but they just Harrigan takes a couple hits, but like basically he winds up getting the smart disc and rams it into the Predators. And dude,
Yeah. Just
I was listening to this with my headphones on and stuff like that. Dude, that Predator scream is fucking loud and long.
oh yeah.
It's crazy. Um,
Like I had to lower it at work because it was that loud.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then you're like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden the rest of the Lost Tribe appears and you're like, oh shit. Uh but like they see that he fought with honor and like basically like they just pick up their fallen brother and
Right.
take him away. And all these predators that you see are all part of the Lost Tribe. They're all like hunters. Two of them are brothers, Stalker and Boar, but like each one of them you looked unique. Only one of them was actually like they had taken the original Predator costume and tweaked it and did some stuff with it, and that's Stalker. That was his suit. He has the
Right.
Predator mask, but all the other ones were like original mask. And in fact, Boar, he has like the really crazy like markings on his mask. That was the
Yeah.
original Predator. When they switched to the Predator with the mandibles in
Yeah.
Predator One, that was the original mask before they changed it.
Oh
And you
nice.
can actually find an alpha or prototype figure. They made it. NECA made one as an anniversary, but they made a figure with that mask, and eventually it became Boar. But that's why
Right.
they see that mask. And then Greyback, who's the elder predator, he's the one who stays behind. He recognizes Little War, and he gives him that flintlock pistol, which was part of a comic. Now it's part of Prey. It's God knows where the continuity is with that
Which
anymore.
which makes me wonder, okay, if they I mean, how the hell did they get that after?
Yeah, because it doesn't really make sense that the comic makes a lot more sense. It's basically Golden Angel Greyback is hunting, and he basically on this island. These pirates, these trappers come on there, and they find treasure or whatever, and the crew decides to mutiny and kill the captain, jump the
Right.
captain, and the predator's like, oh no, that's not honor. So he jumps in and basically like back to back with the captain, and they fight off all these dudes and kill him, and like it's like wow, like kind of like looking at each other like respect, and then like after they kill everybody, but one dude was like left alive and was like took a cheap shot and killed the captain, and the predator just fucking blew him up with the plasma. But the guy gave him told him to keep the pistol, gave the predator the pistol. He told him to take it, and then so he took it, and then he gave him when he was he actually wanted to bury him, which is that's for a predator to do. But when he was
Yeah.
burying him, he threw his sword in there, and he's like, "Take it," and that winds up being the predator in Predator 2 from the comics,
Right.
but
Isn't
they
that the one you
retconned that.
sent me the NECA figure of, the golden armor?
Yeah, so I reviewed it. That was one of the first one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
Golden
remember
Angel.
you reviewing it, but you had sent me the picture of it
Yeah.
when I went to Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that one, and that's Greyback. So that's the same one, the Elder Predator from Predator 2. And the figure for it actually has like that old school mask, which is cool. It's awesome as hell. But yeah, not much else after that. Like he gets out and he's all fucking covered in dust, just like Arnold was and stuff like that. Nothing after credits and everything and stuff.
All covered in asbestos.
Dude, like he was in the freaking Ground Zero 9/11 shit.
Right?
But anyway, so what do you think about the movie? I know we're running like we did two, so we're running a little bit longer. What are
Yeah.
your overall? So we're gonna do all of them, but like as of these two, I know
After those
obviously the
two,
first
I
one.
mean, from watching it, like I said, I've only really saw it on TBS, so I never got the full.
Was this like your first real watching of it, like as a
Yeah.
whole? Awesome.
As a whole, yeah, it was my first real watching it, like with all the cursing uncut and stuff like that.
So much cursing.
Like I said, I agree with you that the too much cursing, that was kind of the cover up, bad writing, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
No, and I think
It,
a lot of people like Arnold wasn't in it, so they kind of hated on it, and then
yeah.
like, oh, it's not as great. And then like you come along and you get other movies. Like I think the first Alien versus Predator movie is fine.
Oh
A lot
yeah,
of
me
people
too.
hate it, fucking
Yeah.
hate it, and say they're both shit. I think the second one is shit, complete
Oh,
shit.
the second one is definitely shit. It's
Uh,
got some good parts in it, but it's
yeah,
it's shit.
absolutely. It's got the best Predator in it, but
Yeah.
it's a shit movie, and like I'll tell it to anybody. But like I think the first one, I saw the movies, and I still think it's still good. You know,
Oh yeah.
um,
It had good writing with it.
yeah. I mean, you kind of got parts from the comic in there. You got to see Whalen in there. Uh, you got multiple predators in there, and you had predators
Yeah.
die. It wasn't just one predator versus all the aliens. So, two of the predators died. Now, of course, one of them died way too quick.
Yeah.
But like
I agree
they
with
got
that one.
they got good deaths. You had the fucking queen in there. You had a human and a predator fighting side by side with the queen. That's fucking badass. We're going too far. I'm
Yeah.
never going to talk about that. But for these two, yeah, I think this one. I think as a whole, these two as a pairing are great. Um,
Yeah.
City Hunter, Jungle Hunter. Uh, it's the only films kind of really where it's just Prey. I'll say where it's just like one predator again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Prey's like
Because I mean, you got three in the Predators. I mean, well, four if you count the runt one that kind of helps Adrian Brody's
Jungle.
character for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's one of the Jungle Tribe ones, so he's got the
Yeah.
same jungle style arm, but it's cracked in the mask and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
like, dude, we'll talk about that movie, but like, dude, if he would have been arrested, it would have been changed, like crucified for
oh
a
yeah.
couple of days. He probably could have
Oh, he
won
would be
because he was holding
great.
his own, man. But anyway, yeah, I love him. And I'm glad we're talking about him and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
We're
me
going to
too.
definitely do aliens and stuff like that. So next time we'll finish it up. We'll do Predators, and Prey.
Yeah.
'Cause I definitely need to rewatch Prey again. I only saw Prey
Oh yeah.
once.
I need to rewatch it again because I mean I didn't have that many notes on Prey, so I want to rewatch it. Well hell, if we could do it like this and I have good signal, we could do it recorded over while I'm at work.
Yeah, we could definitely try it and see. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mobile signal, so we could probably definitely knock out multiple. So anyway, that's another conversation. So
Yeah.
join us next time. We're gonna be talking about the rest of Predator, and we still have our music one to do as well.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah.
So I got my notes on that. I will see you guys in the next one.
Yep. See y'all on the next one.
Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
Thank you.